Our story begins in a magical world where humans and spirits once lived together peacefully in a land called Divam. It was a beautiful place, filled with wonder and harmony, ruled by a kind and wise prince named Phaedar. Alongside him was his younger brother, Puler, strong, fearless, and respected across the land as a professional warrior. On the far side of Divam, just across a river, stood the sacred ballot tree. Hidden within its roots was a magical gate, an ancient doorway that led to a realm filled with dark and dangerous forces. Because of its power, this gate was protected day and night by the strongest of all spirits, a mighty guardian named Leo. Now, let's jump to our main hero, a young warrior named Kosit. He arrived in Divam's capital city on a mission of vengeance. Kosit wasn't just any fighter. He carried with him a talking sword, one that could sense evil and guide him straight to it. And right now, the sword had sensed something, a cold shiver in the air. That could only mean one thing. The white ghost was nearby. With urgency in his eyes, Kosit followed the sword's lead, racing through the crowded streets. Eventually, they ended up at a large gathering, where citizens had come to see performers, nobles, and even Prince Phaedar himself. Among the performers was a graceful and talented spirit girl who stunned the crowd with her magical tricks. As a reward, she was handed a rare pot. But the moment she touched it, the pot exploded, and from within emerged the terrifying white ghost. Chaos broke out. People screamed and ran in every direction, but Kosit stood his ground, ready to fight. Prince Phaedar too prepared to defend his people, but it was Puler who charged in first. Kosit swung from a rope, aiming for the ghost. But the ghost ignored everyone else and headed straight for the prince. With a burst of cold energy, it froze Phaedar's home into a block of ice and then vanished into the night. After the attack, Puler grew suspicious of a man named you, the same one who had handed the pot to the spirit girl. You had already fled the scene and snuck into the royal palace. There he tried to steal a mysterious artifact, the secret key to oblivion. But before he could escape, the royal guards caught him. You surrendered without resistance. But no matter how hard they pressed him, he never revealed where he had hidden the key. Yu's only hope now was the genie performer from the market. Her name was my dryad. He used his magical crow to send her a message, asking for help. Mai was quick to respond. She prepared to sneak into the prison where Yu was being held, and her little brother, Ba, insisted on tagging along. Once inside the prison, Mai told Ba to stay hidden while she climbed up to the level where Yu was locked up. Yu explained the truth. The key he had stolen wasn't just any artifact. It was the key to oblivion, a powerful item once guarded by the fairy realm. It could open the gate to the evil world, and now, it was Mai's responsibility to keep it safe. At the same time, Ba met another prisoner, an odd but friendly water genie called the Waterman. The Waterman needed help escaping, and Ba was all too eager to join the adventure. He climbed a stick to reach the prison keys, but lost his balance and fell. His clumsiness made a huge noise, waking the guard. To escape, Ba transformed himself into a panda using a spell. The confused guard thought he was hallucinating. Luckily, Mai put the guard to sleep with a magical lullaby. She freed the Waterman, who promised to repay the favor one day. The next morning, Prince Puler invited Kosit to the palace. He thanked him for protecting the people and revealed more about the white ghost. Years ago, the land was attacked by the fearsome snow monster and his servant, the white ghost. The jinn fled through the magical gate to the human world, thanks to the guardian Leo. But even then, they weren't safe. The humans and jinn joined forces to fight the monster, but it was too powerful. In the end, the jinn king sacrificed himself to imprison the monster in the jinn world. The gate was sealed by Leo, and the key was hidden among the humans. Now, the white ghost was trying to reopen the gate. If it succeeded, the snow monster would return and destroy everything. Puler wanted Kosit to find the key and promised to help him defeat the white ghost in return. Kosit agreed, but secretly he had another plan. He wanted to use the key to lure the white ghost out and finally take his revenge. Kosit began hunting for Mai, believing she had the key. Meanwhile, Mai and Ba returned to the prison to meet with Leo. But Kosit spotted them. He chased them down and cornered them. Demanding the key, he threatened Mai. But she stood her ground, insisting she knew nothing. Suddenly, a flying carpet appeared, left behind by a friendly genie. Mai told Ba to operate it, even though he'd never flown one before. As Kosit got tangled in some vines, Mai and Ba escaped into the sky. Kosit, refusing to give up, latched onto the flying carpet using a magical rope. But the carpet, flying wildly, tossed them all into a distant forest. Now stranded in the wildland forest, Mai cleverly stole Kosit's sword and warned him to back off. But Kosit wasn't so easily shaken. He tied Mai up and decided he'd deal with her once they got out of the forest. He dragged her through the woods, following mystical stones that pointed the way. But the forest had its own dangers. Giant plants began releasing glowing seeds that rained from the sky. Mai and Ba hid for cover, while Kosit fought off the falling seeds with his sword. In the chaos, he hit one of the direction stones and was knocked out. Ba wanted to flee, but Mai couldn't just leave someone behind. She used her own life force to heal Kosit, even though it would weaken her. Still unconscious, Kosit needed help. Mai remembered the waterman and called him for aid. He came just in time and carried Kosit to safety. By nightfall, Kosit finally woke up. He helped gather firewood, and during the quiet moment, Mai asked him something no one had ever dared to ask. Why was he chasing the white ghost? Kosit hesitated, but eventually opened up. As a child, he had watched the white ghost destroy his village. His entire family was killed. He survived, but the trauma haunted him every night. Ever since, his life had been consumed by one goal: revenge. Mai's heart sank hearing this. She could see how revenge had made Kosit lonely and cold. He had lost everything, but instead of moving forward, he had locked himself in a never-ending battle. Mai shared her own story. She had no memory of her parents. Her childhood was a blur of harsh training and traveling circus life. Yet through it all, she never lost her bright smile. Despite the hardship, she always tried to make others laugh and feel happy. Kosit was amazed. He couldn't understand how someone who had been through so much pain could still be so cheerful. Deep down he knew he wasn't like her. They made their way back to the warm fireplace where Kosit's magical sword was cracking jokes again, just like it used to for Kosit's father long ago. Inspired by the moment, the waterman decided to share his own hidden talent, singing. But instead of a soothing lullaby, his voice was loud and off-key, so much so that it kept the sword wide awake the entire night. Next morning, the group continued their journey toward the city, but they were in for a surprise. A massive wall of snow blocked their path. This wasn't natural. Still, the waterman insisted they could cross it. His home was on the other side of a legendary frozen bridge, and he knew the safest route. This frozen bridge wasn't just any path, it was the exact site where the Jin King once fought the snow monster. During that final battle, the king had shattered the monster's horn and raced back to seal the gate. The impact of that powerful fight caused the bridge to remain frozen, even in summer. Cautiously, Mai and others stepped onto the bridge. Every step was dangerous. At one point, Ba slipped and almost fell. Kosit's sword accidentally got stuck in what remained of the monster's horn. The horn cracked, and suddenly, the entire bridge began collapsing beneath their feet. Using his magical chain, Kosit quickly saved Ba. He and the others made it to the far side, but Mai was still stuck. Without hesitation, Kosit leapt back across the breaking ice to save her. For a moment, time seemed to pause. As they held each other, dangling between life and death, their eyes met, and something changed between them. A spark of love began to grow. After surviving the collapse, they met up with Mai's old friend, Yaga. She lived in a strange but fascinating walking ship, powered by a giant chicken. Instead of sailing the seas, it strolled across land, clucking with every step. Mai was happy to see her old friend and wanted to stay a few days. But she also knew they needed to find Leo, the Jin Guardian. He was the only one who could stop the snow monster from returning. When Yaga heard this, she brought out her magic crystal to locate Leo. They saw him escape from prison and head toward the palace. But before they could learn more, the giant chicken scratched itself, knocking the crystal off the table and right into its food bowl. One big gulp, and the crystal was gone. With no time to lose, Kosit guessed Leo was going to the palace to steal the Oblivion Key from Prince Puler. But Yaga's walking ship was too slow, so she brought out her fastest ride, a magical flying vehicle that could get them to the city in just minutes. Since it had limited space, Yaga and Ba stayed behind. As they flew, Mai felt her heart ache. Her love for Kosit was growing, but she carried a heavy secret. She had the key he was searching for. Unsure of what to do, she asked Kosit what he would do with the Oblivion Key if he found it. He answered honestly. He planned to use it as bait to lure the white ghost and destroy it once and for all. But that terrified Mai. If the white ghost got the key, it could reopen the gate, and the snow monster would be released. Just as these thoughts raced through her mind, Leo stormed into the palace and attacked Prince Puler. Luckily, Kosit arrived just in time. He fought off Leo and prepared to strike him down. But then, Mai stepped forward. Tearfully, she pulled out the Oblivion key and apologized to Kosit for hiding it. Before he could react, she handed the key to Leo. Kosit was stunned, and he was furious. "You fool," he shouted. "You trusted a stranger." Blinded by betrayal and rage, Kosit lunged at Leo. Their fight sent them crashing through a window and down into the palace basement. Just then, Kosit's sword warned him. The white ghost was approaching. The ghost struck Leo with a powerful blow, then vanished again. Kosit tried to chase the ghost, but Leo stopped him and revealed a shocking secret. Mai wasn't just a circus performer. She was the lost princess, the daughter of the Jinn King. Before the great battle, the king had trusted Leo to protect both Mai and the Oblivion key. And now, Leo wanted Kosit to take over that duty. With a new understanding, Kosit rushed to protect Mai. But Puler was already there, and he had turned against them. Puler revealed his true colors. He wanted the key and wasn't afraid to hurt Mai to get it. Kosit had no choice. To save her life, he gave the key to Prince Puler. But the prince was a liar. He didn't let Mai go. Instead, he summoned the white ghost, keeping his word only to the evil spirit. Kosit stepped back and prepared for battle. As the ghost lunged at him, Kosit's sword glowed with power. He'd waited his whole life for this moment. With a mighty strike, Kosit slayed the white ghost. With this, Prince and Leo regained their lives. His sword cheered and begged to throw a party, but there was no time. Puler still had the key, and he was heading to the gate. Kosit followed him to the ancient doorway and watched in horror as Puler used the key to open it. Mai tried to stop him, but Puler had lost all reason. He entered the gate and met the imprisoned ice monster. He begged for power, hoping to rule the kingdom instead of his brother. But the monster had other plans. It took over Puler's body and transformed into its full beastly form. Puler tried to resist and asked Kosit for help, but it was too late. The snow monster was back. Kosit rushed to stop him. He told Mai to stay back, but she refused. She had learned the truth. She was a princess, and it was her duty to protect her people. Together, they began searching for a way to defeat the beast. They spotted a cargo ship loaded with explosives and planned to use it against the monster. But before they could act, a clumsy forest genie fired a missile by accident. The monster noticed them, and in a blink, hurled a massive snowball right at Mai. Kosit didn't think twice. He leapt in front of her and took the hit. He collapsed. His heartbeat faded. With his final breaths, he tried to tell Mai that he loved her. But she wouldn't let him go. She poured her life energy into him, even though it meant sacrificing herself. Mai transformed into a stunning, magical tree. Kosit awakened, filled with grief and rage. He stood, fueled by the power Mai had given him. Somehow, her energy had made him immortal, like a genie. With everything he had, Kosit attacked the monster. But he failed again and again. That's when he remembered what Mai had told him. The monster's horn was its weakness. He raced toward the beast, broke the horn with his sword, and sliced through it completely. The monster let out a terrible roar and crumbled into dust. With the kingdom safe, Puler was captured and sentenced for his crimes. That night, the city threw a massive celebration, but Kosit didn't join. He sat quietly next to Mai's tree, praying for a miracle. And that miracle came. Yaga searched every ancient library and legend, and at last, she found something, a powerful artifact known as the Amulet of Life, scattered across the world. It could bring Mai back, but it would take years to gather all the pieces. Kosit didn't care how long it would take. For the next 300 years, he never gave up. He searched every corner of the world, collected the pieces one by one, and finally, he put the amulet back together. He used it on Mai, and her eyes opened. She fell into his arms and asked what happened to the snow monster. Kosit smiled and said, "Forget everything else. I've been waiting for this moment." Now, with the amulet and their eternal love finally fulfilled, their story was complete. And that's how the amazing story ends. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more magical adventures and epic stories like this one.